So some of you might be opening this video and thinking, oh, well, if he's not doing it for the animals, then I'm sure he's doing it for like the environment or health or whatever. And although those were the reasons that I started eating a plant-based diet, they're certainly not the reasons why I'm still vegan today and that I will be vegan for the rest of my life, despite not being an animal lover. It's because I can't afford meat anymore. No, I'm just kidding. And so before getting into my reasoning, it's important to remember that a lot of people out there have a misunderstanding of what being vegan even means. They think you cut out meat, dairy, and eggs, have some vague stance about whether or not honey is vegan, and bam, you're there. And I'll be honest with you, that is definitely the biggest part about being vegan. But being vegan also means not buying leather, not buying wool, not going to SeaWorld, not going to dog fighting shows. Oh, and honey, yeah. Honey's not vegan. But yeah, for the most part, it's avoiding anything that hurts animals. And so that always made sense to me for the people who love animals. I mean, we always meet those people who just adore animals. Like maybe they've got animals at home or they've got a bunch of stuffed animals. The kids that want to be vets because they love animals so much. Take my cousin, for example. That man is an animal lover. He always owned animals growing up. He even had a tarantula. And he always loved animals more than people, it felt like. And yes, he wanted to become a vet. And surprise, today he's vegan. And so again, it makes sense when you see those people and you think, yeah, I can see why they wouldn't want to hurt animals at all. But I've never been one of those people. Anyone who knew me growing up knows that I have never explicitly liked animals, never had an animal at home. And if I never interacted with another animal in my life, I would probably be fine with that. So yeah, I'm by no means an animal lover and I've never really cared much for animals. Yet the reason that I'm vegan is for the animals. So if that's confusing at first, let me walk you through a thought experiment. So let's take a somewhat random country, like let's say Luxembourg. I'm not trying to offend anybody in Luxembourg. I'm sure it's a cool place. But on the day-to-day, I don't really think about Luxembourg, and I think it'd be fair to say that I don't really care too much about Luxembourg. However, let's say that I suddenly found out every time somebody bought a popular candy bar that everyone really likes, someone dropped a bomb on a Luxembourgish family, and that everyone's buying this candy bar all the time. Well, first of all, I know that I'd be horrified and I would stop buying them. I mean, just because I don't think about these people normally doesn't mean I'm okay with my actions killing them. But going even further, I would see it as hugely up that people there are being bombed through the actions of everyone around me. And so I try to get others to stop bombing them too, especially when it just means buying a different candy bar. And then imagine if people then came up to me and said, oh, I get why you're so riled up about it. You must really love Luxembourg. What the fuck? No, I don't love Luxembourg, and I really wouldn't care about Luxembourg. But that doesn't mean that I think we should be collectively bombing them. So does that make me a Luxembourg lover? No. And I would find it extremely concerning if people felt like you needed to be a Luxembourg lover to give a shit about the people that they were massacring. And honestly, that just seems like a convenient way for someone not to engage with their actions on a deeper level. Oh, they care so much because they're Luxembourg lovers. But I'm not a Luxembourg lover, so... And yeah, the train of thought just stops right there. So do y'all see where I'm going with this? I've never cared about animals, was never an animal lover, but I also don't think they should be subjected to death and torture needlessly. And I think most people agree with that. Remember how I casually slipped in that vegans would avoid dogfighting shows? If your first thought hearing that was, yeah, who in their right mind would go to one of those violent shows? Then you already understand the thought process behind not purchasing products that directly harm animals. And while most people are able to see the direct impact their dollars have on dogfighting and would refuse to support it, they don't extend that line of thinking to purchasing products that require slaughterhouses. But ask yourself, what's the meaningful difference? Both are directly paying for violence against animals for your pleasure. Shouldn't we be equally outraged by both? I'll also say that you don't need to love animals to not want to pay for them to get hurt. And that's why I try to be open about not being an animal lover, but still being for animal liberation. Because I want to challenge that stereotype that people have. By the way, I do think animals are cute. I'm not a monster. I just like them, like a normal amount. So yeah, shorter video today, but that's something that I've been wanting to get off my chest. Anyways, don't forget to take your legumes, eat your B12. Don't forget to eat your legumes, take your B12 supplement, and a big shout out to my patrons for helping make videos like these possible. See you on the next one.